Also, there's a question, I think, a big question mark surrounding the Eagles with Nick Sirianni. He didn't want to talk about it. Wisely didn't want to talk about it after the game. But it seemed to be hanging there that team did not play inspired football last night. And I never understand that when a coach said, I didn't get them ready, it's on me. How's that possible? The last 2 months, they weren't ready. And it's your job to get them ready, to put them in the right place at the right time. And maybe let's all agree to tackle. You know, it's a fundamental flaw that you find with defensive backs now. Tackle. Yes, Eden.
Yeah, I don't know how many swords a coach can fall on at one time, but Nick Sirianni seemed to fall on them all last night in his press conference because he was like, I don't care about these guys. I don't care about myself. I just care about these guys. My future, I'm not worried about that right now. I just care about these guys.
Here's the Eagles head coach about his coaching future.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the guys. Again, there's a lot of guys in that locker room, all the guys in that locker room, every single one of them that put their heart and soul into this. I'm not worried about me. I'm not.
Well, I might. I might worry a little bit about it.
You know what? It's not their fault. It's my fault.
Yeah.
I didn't get them ready. That was on me.
Okay, if I'm the owner, then I go, well, then that's easy. I make a change. I change you because you didn't get this team ready. When they were 10-1, and we were looking at, okay, they're going back to the Super Bowl. You had just beaten the Bills, and we looked at Philadelphia and said, okay, they might be not as formidable as last year, but good offensive line, good defensive line, skilled position, shaky secondary, Jalen Hurts, more experience. Okay. And then all of a sudden, they stopped playing. I think the 49ers game ruined their season. I think that's where you go, oh, my God, there is a big difference between the Niners and the Eagles. That was 42-19, I believe. Then they lost 5 of 6. And then, okay, they're favored on the road against Tampa Bay. Give Tampa credit. They played well. They won 5 of their last 6. I don't think anybody thought they were going to be a playoff team. And then they are. And here they are. And Baker Mayfield played well. Defense played well. But you can't help but look at the Eagles because of the expectation level. We didn't have expectations with the Buccaneers. Therefore, we're surprised. I guess I'm surprised with the Eagles at how bad they played down the stretch. And you keep waiting because you got veterans there. By the way, Adam Schefter reporting that Jason Kelce looks like he's going to retire. He'll be going to the Hall of Fame, Travis's brother. And he looked like a guy who was going to retire last night. At the end of the game, emotional, acknowledging his family in the stands there. But with the Eagles, there's a lot of talent there. But it just felt like something was missing. Well, sometimes what's missing is the right coach for that team. And Nick Sirianni seemed to be the guy that you scripted to be that head coach for them, going to the Super Bowl. But they had some injuries. I know everybody does. They lost 2 coordinators. Not many teams do that. When you're successful, you lose coordinators. They became head coaches. And it just didn't feel like they were ever on the same page. Even when they were 10-1, I think people were looking at them as not a true 10-1 team. And there were a lot of close games, but I always say it's like the Chiefs. They keep you in the game, but what happens at the end? They win. And the Eagles were winning those games. But last night, man, it didn't look good at all. And then when Hurts gets us, the safety, and I go, you can't. How do you get a safety when the ball is snapped at the 13-yard line? But they did. And the Eagles bow out. And now you start to look at this division. Washington gets a new head coach. Dallas probably getting a new head coach. Does Philadelphia get a new head coach? Brian Dable will be the senior member of the coaching tree there in the NFC East. And his job might be in jeopardy after next season. But Tampa Bay played well. Baker Mayfield played well. And he's a true free agent, by the way. But it seems like, maybe he's found a home there. But also, I think when you look at Baker Mayfield, there were people who just didn't like him. He's like Johnny Manziel. When he came out of college, there were people who had question marks about him. His attitude, his arrogance, his confidence. And he did okay in Cleveland until he didn't do okay in Cleveland. and then he's bounced around a couple of places. But I truly think what happened when he went to the Rams with Sean McVay really helped set him straight on being able to play the position. And now you're in Tampa. Maybe you have some stability there with your offensive coordinator and your head coach. It's his last chance to be the starting quarterback in the NFL. Because if not, then you just become a backup quarterback. And he played well. He played well all season. You didn't hear much from him. I think we asked for Baker Mayfield the entire season to come on the show, and I don't think he did many interviews. If he did, maybe they were just local interviews. But congrats to them. I'm looking at the lines. DraftKings, the Buccaneers are getting 6 against the Lions in Detroit. The Chiefs are getting 2.5 in Buffalo. The Texans getting 9.5 against the Ravens. And the Packers getting 10 versus the Lions.